Hi, I'm Sarah Olson, and this video is all about how to let go of our worst enemy, procrastination, quickly and easily. In order to do that, I'm going to take you through 4 steps. The first step is really essential, and you've just got to do this. You've got to sit down, you've got to be honest with yourself, and you've got to ask yourself, with a particular area or project or task in mind that you haven't completed, what has stopped you from doing it? And you have to be honest, because sometimes it's something that you don't really want to face up to. I can think of an example of someone I worked with who really wanted to build his business up, and it meant he had to get out and talk to people. And we talked about what he needed to do, how he needed to do it. And actually, the big issue for him was just going ahead and getting on with it, because it was so far outside his comfort zone. And he procrastinated, and it was only finally when he got the courage to go and do it that he sorted it out. Had he much earlier on stopped and stood back and said, okay, this is what's blocking me, I'm prepared to deal with it, he would have moved much more quickly and got the result that he wanted in a much shorter space of time. So the first thing is, you've got to ask yourself, what's blocking me? Now, sometimes it's because it's out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you just might need a rest. Maybe things have been full on and it's just not the right time. In which case you can ask yourself, well, when is the right time? And you can set that in your diary. So find out what stopped you until now. The second thing you need to do is ask yourself, well, what's the downside? If I don't do this, if I continue to procrastinate, what's the downside here? Actually, what is it that I'm missing out on? In this person's experience, in his situation, he was actually missing out on the success that he's now getting from having built up his business. And he just knew what he wanted to do, but he just wasn't going ahead to do it. He was really missing out, and it was a very uncomfortable place to be. The third step is to ask yourself, what's the upside? What am I going to gain by actually completing this action? And if that is really something that's very appealing to you, that's going to give you some impetus to actually stop procrastinating and go and get on with it. So the fourth thing that you need to do is manage the risks. Put all of the information that you've got so far together and decide, what is it that you're prepared to do at a risk level that you're prepared to accept, so that you can move forward knowing what you've got to gain by stopping procrastinating and getting on with it. And then you have to just not let yourself off the hook. If you've cleared those blocks out of the way and you know what you stand to gain, you can really stop procrastinating and just take, and here's another key thing, the first tiny step to start to get things going. Once you've built up impetus, it's much easier to continue. Like, you know that report you've got to write and you just can't get down to doing it. Well, your first step is to sit on the chair at your desk in front of your computer. That's your first step. If you can face that, you can do the next step. The next step is turn your computer on. If you can face that step, you can do the next step. The next step is to read the first 3 lines that you've written. So break it down into such small chunks that you can't avoid it, because the chunks are so easy. If you put all of those things into place, you will stop procrastinating and you will start taking action, and you will start getting the results that you want. Have a look at my website, it's saraholson.co.uk. If you want to send me an email, I'll be pleased to hear from you.